Oh, hello everyone. I hope you're all doing well. It has been a hot minute since we've done a Q&A on this channel, so I thought I would answer some questions today while puttering around our long-term stream world. The other day I put out a community post asking you all for some questions and you all delivered. So I'm gonna try to answer as many as I can today. Now, in case some of you don't know what this world is, this is a stream world that we started right here on YouTube and have been working on for like 2-ish years, I think. It's been a super fun project, only done on stream, so if you're not familiar with it, you'll get a little bit of a glimpse of it today. And if you're interested, you can see some of the past VODs in the live tab. Also, sorry if my voice is a little bit hoarse. I got sick like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and for some reason, my voice is still recovering. I don't know why, but hopefully it's back to normal soon. All right, what do you say we get some questions answered? So our first question comes from Mar, who asks, which update in Minecraft do you love the most? And I would say that my favorite update hands down has been 118 Caves and Cliffs. I feel like the terrain overhaul dramatically changed the way we play this game in so many ways. Caves are vast and expansive now instead of those windy little noodle caves that we had back then. They're honestly so much fun to explore, and it feels more rewarding when you gather resources. And as for the terrain above, the mountains they've added have been visually stunning and have allowed for some really amazing options for building. Plus, you can't forget the lush caves with all the moss, axolotls, glowberries, and azaleas. So many good things have come from that update that I use on a day-to-day basis. The next question is from Chloe, who also asks what my favorite update is so far, so that's why I lumped these two together. However, they also ask, how did you get good at building? And honestly, I think the way that I got pretty decent at building is lots and lots of practice, and honestly, it sounds silly, but lots of failure in that process. It sounds silly, but failure is honestly a huge part of learning anything. I think learning from your mistakes is truly one of the most valuable things, because then you know what not to do and how to improve things differently the next time around. I also learned a lot from playing with friends who are incredible builders. They taught me so many tips and tricks that I implement into all of my builds even to this day. Big old shout out to Blockdown, Sev, Brooke, Froggy, and honestly all of my friends I've learned so much from. And another tip I would give is that there's also tons of amazing building tutorials on YouTube that I suggest you play alongside. I know my homie Sev has build tutorials that lay things out from the ground up, and I think having people explain how to go about starting a build from the foundation all the way to how to detail is a great way to learn. I definitely suggest kind of like taking things one step at a time, learn how to do basic shapes, then go on to learning different types of palettes, how to add detail, different roof types, and then once you get the hang of everything, it'll all flow together. The next question is from Gabby, who asks, what is your favorite build or world that you've made? And I think there's sort of two answers for this. My long-term stream world is one of my favorite worlds, especially in terms of nostalgia. It's a stream-only world that I built up on stream, of course, with the help and suggestions of the community. So it contains so many amazing memories, memes, builds, and it really feels like sort of a time capsule in a journal. Oh, you escaped. No, go back in. Nope, go back. There you go. However, I also really love the 100 Days Cozy farm that I made. I was really happy with how that farm all came together by the end of those videos, and it was such a fun project to take on. Plus, all of the cool furniture mods and stuff make that world really come to life. Now, the next question is from my homie Blockdown, who asks, who is the best fisherman and why is it always me? It's not. Come back to me when you have a singing fish on your wall to prove it. Because just simply, it's not. And stop. You're not fooling anyone. All right, moving on. Firefly asks, what do you find most annoying about Minecraft? So I'm going to answer with a personal weakness and frustration that I have in this game and that I have yet to overcome, and that would be Redstone. That stuff is so cool, but also so hard for me to understand. You definitely have to have like a certain type of brain for that, which unfortunately I don't. So I'm just out here trying to learn the basics. I'm kind of hoping that if I properly learn what each component does, that I'll be able to piece together nearly anything on my own. Like, for example, I learned how to make this really cool watermelon farm on stream, and I learned how to make it so the water kind of like shoots up over here into a chest and down into a hopper, and then the watermelon slices go here. So you know what? I think I'm improving. I think I'm getting there. Also, in case any of you are wondering if what I'm doing now serves any purpose, I'm just kind of like farming and vibing and gathering these crops because you know what? Sooner or later, we're probably going to need them. The next question is from Svi, who asks, how do you prepare your episodes? Do you prepare a lot of your resources prior to making them? I always find I underestimate what I need. So I first prepare my episodes by figuring out what the main driving story of the episode will be. Whether I need enchantments, an iron farm, or simply even a cute house for a dog. From there I come up with build ideas in a creative flat world so I know what the size, shape, and build palette will look like. That makes it much easier for me to explain what I'm doing while making the episode. From there, I kind of choose a rough spot in my world for where the build can go, but that's always subject to change. So with all of that planned out, I then film pieces of the episode and edit as I go. The reason I edit chunks at a time is honestly to make the editing process easier for myself, but it also helps me see where the episode is going in terms of pacing and storytelling. So if I feel like I need a funny break or resource collection to break up some building, then I can add stuff like that in. And since a lot of my worlds have been running for a while, I mostly have all the resources I need. However, if I think the collection is going to take way too long and not really benefit me to do it in the episode, then I'll sometimes gather a bit of things prior. Resource collecting is one of those things that can be great content, but also kind of a slog. So sometimes it's a little bit of a balance. Alright, I have a good amount of crops collected that should tide me over for a while, so I think now I might work on a little bit of pathing. This newer farm area over here could be fixed up just a little bit with some coarse dirt. So let's get to it. So the next question we have is from Rolf, who asks, do you have a cat? And boy, yes, I do. All right, well, this is actually relevant to something over here. I have a cat named Ruth. She's a calico cat, and she is a little menace, but she is also an icon. She loves attention, she loves snuggles, and probably has close to like 100 nicknames, such as, and not limited to, Tiny Allen, Extendo, and are there any more calicos in this world now? Basically, what I've done in this world is every calico cat that I find is named after Ruth's nicknames. So they're off limits for naming on stream because they're all variants of Ruth. She's the best cat ever. She stinks, but I love her regardless. And on to some more questions. The next one is Ace Detective, who asks, is Big Tiny Duck a mallard or is she secretly a goose? She's a goose. Absolutely a goose. That's some big goose energy from BTD. You know what I mean? There's no doubt about it. I think you would all agree with me. The next question is from Martin, who asks, what are your favorite songs right now or artists in general? So I pretty much love all types of music, and I usually choose based on my mood. But my favorite artist of all time is definitely King Cruel, without a doubt. I fell in love with his music when he released 6 Feet Beneath the Moon back in like 2013, I think, and everything he's put out since has just been absolutely incredible. If you're looking for music that's kind of like a fuse between jazz and hip hop and is very poetic, then it's definitely right down your alley, so I suggest checking his stuff out. Some other notable mentions for what I'm listening to right now would be Men I Trust, Sales, Wet Leg, and of course, Chapel Roan. I mean, she's absolutely killing it right now. Her music is so incredible. And now on to the next question that is from Alina, who asks, what are some of your favorite hobbies? Recently, I sadly haven't had much time for some of my favorite hobbies, but I would really love to change that because it's important to maintain them. I really love playing guitar. I picked it up a long time ago by doing lessons I found online and eventually went to a person for in-person lessons. I have a Fender Mustang and a Telecaster, and they're both super fun to play on. I love them so much. I really need to get back into the habit of picking those up again because I sadly fell out of doing that because I don't really have too much time on my hands right now, but I definitely need to change that. I also genuinely love gaming when I have the time as well. Currently, I'm playing through Tears of the Kingdom, and it has been so fantastic. I play a lot before I go to bed because it's honestly just really relaxing. It almost feels like reading a book. Like it relaxes me and puts me to sleep almost instantly. And finally, I would say I've also really been enjoying going to the gym and biking. I'm at a desk all day long, so in the winter I go to the gym to move my body, and it just gives me so much more energy and honestly helps me sleep better too. But now that the weather's nicer, me and Big Tiny Duck have also been going for bike rides, and that's been so much fun. We both recently got coordinating bikes as well. It's hilarious. The next question is from Marbles, who asks, would you ever do a commentary long play series with a Bloodlines-like roleplay? You know, I never thought of mixing those two styles together, so I never really considered that. But I think that would be so cool. I feel like a roleplay series can definitely benefit from having more quiet moments, and those two could actually work really well together. And following up that question, we have one from Sev, who asks, what is the best SMP moment you've ever had? And why do you smell good? Hi, Sev. Shout out to Sev, one of my homies. Go check her out if you haven't. I would say my favorite moments on SMPs are always the shenanigans with friends, hands down. Being able to make content with your friends is honestly such a joy and one of my favorite things. So it's always the unexpected moments that end up being my favorite because you never know what's gonna happen. Like everyone tossing me into a pit in Castaways because I killed the one and only sheep on the island. I mean, that was deserved, but also hilarious. Or the DJ set Sev had me perform on a houseboat, followed by reading passages from Twilight for some reason. Anytime chaos ensues, I'm here for it. And also, Sev, I smell good because I shower. Maybe you should try it sometime. Also, I love how my default whenever my friends ask me questions on these Q&As is to just get immediately sassy. We all just love to tease each other, and honestly, it's just so fun. All right, on to the next question that is from Bryce, who asks, what is your favorite mob in Minecraft? You know what? I feel like the bee has to take the cake on this one. Have you seen those things and the way they just buzz around and bump into things? It's adorable. Plus, baby bees in Minecraft are probably one of the cutest things you'll ever see. Following up with that question, Nothing asks, if you could be any mob in Minecraft, what mob would you be? Well, honestly, certainly not the cow or the sheep. I mean, yeah, sadly, you'd mostly just be here for like food, leather, and wool. Honestly, I would probably have to go with an axolotl. Most of us Minecraft players end up building adorable sanctuaries for them, so they basically just get to like hang out and swim. What's not to love about that? And another follow-up question is from Lanny, who asks, what's a mob you would like added in Minecraft? P.S. I love your builds, it's always so cute. First of all, thank you so much. That's very kind of you to say. And to answer your question, ducks. I love ducks so much. They're so cute. And they would just be so atmospheric, especially in little rivers and ponds and stuff. It would be so cool. And then they could like quack. Wouldn't that be adorable? And also, honestly, some other birds in the OG biomes would be great too, and probably add just as much atmosphere. The next question is from Mosspunk, who asks, what do you think is the best advice for people starting a Minecraft or cozy gaming channel? I want to get started with content creation as a regular hobby, but it all feels so intimidating. Fun question too, if you had to live in a Minecraft biome IRL, which one would it be? I think the best advice I can give is try making a video that you would be interested in watching yourself. Like, let's say you like the chill-paced Minecraft Let's Play, go for that type of style because I think you'll have more fun making content that you're most interested in. And in turn, if you're having fun, you'll just want to make more videos and also have more of a desire to learn things. Everyone's process for making videos is different, and you'll most likely evolve that style as you progress, but I think the hardest part is just hitting that record button. I've gotta be honest, when I did my very first Let's Play series, I had re-recorded it over like 5 times. I felt so awkward, kept messing up my lines, I was dying constantly because I was concentrating on talking while playing, which was really hard for me to learn. It was pretty much just a hot mess. But I kept recording and playing until I made something I was finally happy with, and then I just put it out there, just to see what would happen. Honestly, each episode you make, you will absolutely learn something along the way and get better every single time. You can honestly see that evolution with so many creators. Like if you even go back to my old Let's Plays and compare them to the ones I make now, you can see how totally different they are in style, pacing, the way I speak, just everything. And honestly, that's so cool to see because that's progress. So I would say hit that record button, have fun, and just see what comes of it. Also, I would like to note that I took so much inspiration when I first started out, and I'm still so inspired by other creators like Gemini Tay, LD Shadow Lady, Scar, and just so many other creators. The amazing thing about YouTube and the Minecraft community is that we're all inspired by one another, whether it's through building or video making or just whatever. And of course, I'm not saying just copy exactly what they're doing, but you can kind of pinpoint what you like about people's videos and say, hey, I really like the way they edited that or told that funny joke in like such a cool way. I want to try to like put my own spin on it. I hope what I said kind of like helps and makes sense. And to answer your fun question, if I could live in a Minecraft biome IRL, I would say it's gotta be the classic forest. Listen, I know that might sound boring, but come on. It's got bees, lots of trees, winding rivers, and it's relatively safe. What's not to love about it? I was gonna choose the lush cave because those are super cool, but honestly, there's creepers everywhere, so I think that's a no for me. All right, the next question is from Omni, who asks, I have ideas for builds and I can get the basic shapes down. What stumps me, and my question is focused towards detailing. How would you recommend getting better at detailing? It's so funny, I feel like I have the opposite problem where I still often struggle with making shapes. Sometimes I feel like I'm doing the same thing over and over, and I'm kind of trying to switch it up as of lately. But to answer your question, I would say try to tackle one thing at a time. Like outdoors, for example. Think of ways you can improve each part of the house. What would improve a flat roof? A chimney, leaves, even an extra component like a dormer roof? What about the windows? What are some ways we can add details to those? Try adding planters, shutters, lighting, all of those things. And the best part is there's ways to make everything look different and unique each time because we have so many blocks at our disposal. Like for the shutters, you could use oak trapdoors. Then the next build, you could use spruce ones. The options are pretty endless. And it's the same thing with interiors. I would say start with the basics for interiors, like finding cool ways to build little storage units, bed frames, dining areas, and workstations. Those are your basics, and once you have some solid designs for those, you can kind of go from there and get a bit more specific and intricate with your rooms. Honestly, even I'm constantly experimenting with different styles as well. And for our next question, we've got one from Augustine, who says, tell us your origin story and how you got into content creation and playing Minecraft. I love listening to stories like that. So I first got into playing Minecraft like a long time ago. I don't even remember. I think it was pretty close to when it released. I would always kind of play it for a bit, build a house, do some mining, and then abandon the world because I didn't know what else to do. I felt like I had no purpose. I really enjoyed the mechanics of the game and I thought it was fun, but I didn't really understand how to advance and move forward, if that makes sense. Then during lockdown, I had a casual server with a friend where we would just build up a little base together. That pretty much got me back into it, and then I started looking for Minecraft content while browsing on YouTube. I ended up finding that type of content super comforting and nice to have on while doing chores around the house, and eventually I just couldn't stop watching it. So pretty much all of this inspired me to play Minecraft in a different way than I used to. I was inspired and I wanted to learn how to build up worlds that were more than just a starter house and a mine. So on my days off from work, I decided to just like hang out and play Minecraft, but for some reason I was like, yeah, I'm gonna record this. So the first videos on my channel was that little long play series, and that's basically me kind of like learning how to build a base in Minecraft. I don't know why I was like, I'm not very good at this game, but I'm gonna record it and see what happens. But I mean, I ended up really having fun with it, and I think that was like the whole purpose, was just to like have goals to work towards and document my fun little cozy experience of building up a base. I will say that posting that type of progress was definitely a form of motivation. They ended up gaining traction, which led to me having the confidence to try a Let's Play series, and I just completely fell in love with video making. And now here I am today, making lots of fun Let's Plays, hanging out with all of you on streams, and making content with some really amazing people. Pretty wild, isn't it? But also, just to get cheesy for a second, I could not have done all of this without you all. Everyone's support on this channel has been so incredible, and I just want to thank you all so much for watching my silly content. We have answered some really fun questions today. Alright, so let's keep going. The next question is from Source, who asks, what is the origin of the name InfiniteDrift? It's a really cool name. First of all, thank you, that's very kind. And I came up with that name when I was brainstorming the name for my channel. So basically from the start, I had intended for my channel to be kind of like a chill and relaxing space, so I wanted to base a name around that idea. I also had it in my mind that I kind of wanted it to be 2 words. So after some brainstorming, I thought of the word drift and I was like, yes, that's cool. It's kind of as if you're drifting through clouds or space. It felt very like ethereal and relaxing. After I knew I wanted to use that word, I brainstormed what would sound good with it, but also what would make sense. And eventually I landed upon the word infinite. I thought the idea of like infinitely drifting through the clouds was perfect for the chill and relaxing vibes, and that's pretty much it. It kind of fell into place nicely. Swinging back around to some content questions, Waffle asks, how do you stay motivated to create content that you enjoy doing? So a big motivation for me is that I really do love to learn, and I think Minecraft as a game always has something for me that I've yet to learn, and so does video making in general. I think I'm very goal-oriented, so as long as I have something I'm working towards, I'm a happy gal. It can be as simple as me wanting to learn a new build style or redstone contraption, to me wanting to learn an entirely new video format. But that's definitely not to say that I don't have those days where I'm just not motivated. I've definitely gotten into ruts, and I think that's totally normal with anything in life. Pushing through those days can definitely be a challenge, but I also try to give myself grace and not force myself, because that can often lead to burnout as well. I think ruts in content creation can come from an array of things, so it's a little hard to give concrete advice, but I think the important thing is to listen to yourself. If you feel like you need to take a bit of a break, definitely take one. If you feel like you might be in a rut because your content feels a little bit same to you, sometimes it's good to implement something new to learn to reignite that excitement. It's kind of hard because sometimes it's one of those things that you may have to just kind of push through, while other times it's kind of like a signal for you to take a break, and it's just very, very dependent. I hope this ramble sort of helps, but honestly, I think it's good to know that other creators go through it too. The next question is from T476, who asks, how do you come up with build ideas? So I like to draw inspiration from many different areas like real life, movies, TV, and other video games. So I use a lot of reference photos of those things from different mediums to draw inspiration from. Another great place to look is Pinterest. It basically is just one giant archive of inspiration of photos. There's a ton of cool game illustrations, models of medieval builds, IRL photos, just everything. Having an archive of photos like that can be really handy when trying to come up with a build theme. Now onto a Minecraft related question from Malcazar, who asks, what would be your dream update? I would love a farming and food update. Being able to craft more food items to display on a table would be phenomenal for decorating, but it would also be cool if different types of food gave you buffs. As of now, you don't really have much reason to eat certain crops, so I feel like having a bit of an overhaul with that would be so cool. And also, different types of crops to plant would add so much variety to decorating outdoor spaces. And to follow up on that question, Dented Tester asks, what biome would you like to see updated or added to Minecraft next? For the updated biome, I would have to go with forested areas. I would love to see some new flowers, maybe some broken down trees, and definitely new animals to bring some life to the OG biomes. A lot of the new biomes have so much going on that when you look at them next to one of the older ones, it kind of makes the old ones look a little bit dated. And as for a new biome added to the game, I actually sat and thought about this for a minute, and honestly, I'm not really sure. Whatever Mojang's got cooking, I trust will be good, so I would be happy with anything. Alright, we've answered some really good questions. Now let's close this off with a couple more and then we'll be good to go. So King asks, how is Ruth? I missed that floof. Listen, Ruth is living her best life right now. Earlier today, she found Big Tiny Duck's Apple Pencil and was briefly able to play with it until I had to snatch it away from her because it would have gone missing. But I'm quite confident those were the best 2 minutes of her life. So you know what? She's living it up. And for our last question, we have Fatima, who asks, would you rather they add enchanted fish or copper tools to Minecraft in the future? Alright, for those of you who don't know what this is a reference to, back in my very first Let's Play before 118 dropped, I heard somewhere that they would be adding copper tools. Don't remember where I heard it from. In that Let's Play, I talked about how I was so excited about these tools, and everyone in the comments roasted me, and even to this day, the OGs still bring it up. And as for the enchanted fish, my pal Rofo convinced me on stream in front of everybody that enchanted fish are a thing in Minecraft. Honestly, even to this day, I'm still a little uncertain if that's a lie or not, so I'll periodically Google it. So there's some backstory on the lore of this channel and community. Now to answer the question, give me those copper tools, come on! All right, everyone, I think that's gonna be it for today's Q&A. Thank you all so much to everyone who asked me a question. I'm sorry if I didn't get to yours. I tried to answer as many as I could, but it was hard because you all asked such great questions. I had tons of fun making this, and I hope you all enjoyed watching it. I'll definitely be making more of these in the future, so let me know how you all enjoyed it in the comments. All right, everyone, bye! Thanks for watching! Bye! Bye!